What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast. I'm Leroy, no Philip this week. Well, this episode is a wrap-up on the Eagles versus the Commanders game. I really don't have anything too much to say about this game other than Tanner McGee is maybe not the guy that people was looking at. I hear that he was supposed to be a trade bait for next season. Well, during this offseason for a high draft pick. I don't know what they consider a high draft pick, but they definitely, with the performance he had on Sunday, they're definitely not going to get a high draft pick for him. He had a chance to tie it up. Then he had a chance to move down the field at the end of the game and missed that. So he's definitely not the guy that were looking at as a trade value. So it's really not much to talk about the game because the starters didn't play. Let me get a list of the starters. The offensive starters: Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Jordan Mailata, Leonard Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, and Lane Johnson didn't play. On the defensive side, we got Jalen Carter, Zach Baum, Nakobe Dean, Corton Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship, and Marcus Epps didn't play. They all got a rest. Next week, the Eagles play the 49ers on a home field game at 4:30. So they should have all their 11 starters back if Lane Johnson is ready to go and Nakobe Dean on the defensive side. They should have majority of their starters back, so I guess that's good. I'm not really worried about San Francisco that much, so yeah. Well, I'm gonna read some comments this week because the game was really nothing much to talk about. So I'm gonna go to YouTube. We got shout out to SJL30. He says, this is a comment on the Eagles Bills game last week. So he makes a comment that the Utah coach did some stupid shiz against BYU early this year because he claimed he was going off analytics instead of years of coaching knowledge. Analytics doesn't use metrics like momentum or injuries. Absolutely agreed. Absolutely agree. And we mentioned that on the podcast last week. Going forward, this is when the coach had went for it on second down when he should have just kicked the field goal and go into overtime. So the next comment is from Short Cat Fan 123. He says the Eagles had 17 yards in the second half. The Bills were stopping them at OT. Absolutely, we mentioned that in the podcast. Shout out to the Judgementals. So we got official Monkey VR said we would have to go into overtime. Josh almost always makes those throws, but he didn't that game. Well, he shouldn't have been in a position to be making that throw anyway. They should have just kicked the extra point and went into overtime. So Short Cat Fan 123 replied to official Monkey VR and said, but he did. That's the problem. Even when he did that in OT, he would have two or three more downs. At least we were in the playoffs. So they were in the playoffs anyway. I don't know why would they go for the 2-point conversion instead of extra point. It makes no sense to me. And like SJL30 said that I'm thinking most of these guys played a lot of Madden and a lot of front office football. Front office football is what it's called, if I'm not mistaken, for the PC. I'm thinking they played a lot of that. These are fairly young guys, and I'm pretty sure they definitely played Madden, and I'm pretty sure they playing that front office football. The reason why they get these, because it doesn't make any sense. Football is not that difficult. It's difficult in some ways, but it's not that difficult at all. And the way these coaches are doing it do not make sense. The same thing like the Charlotte Panthers coach did on Saturday against who did they play? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So our next comment is from TikTok. Now, this is in reference to last week's game against the Eagles and Bills. So we're going to give a shout out to Shaz Moore 131. He says, I don't care what anyone's record is. As an Eagles fan, every year, the same 6 games are the ones I worry about. The most are Washington, Dallas, and New York. Absolutely agreed. And Philip had mentioned that in the podcast. Same thing. So I'm going to give a shout out to the new fan of the Judgmental Podcast, Mr. _Chris P. He says, so only the Commanders' backups played hard. I'm sorry to tell you, but it doesn't change anything. Bottom line, your Pro Bowl team is getting the work from an extremely injured team. He means Super Bowl team. Sir, it doesn't matter. Again, by the way you made that comment, I can already tell you're not from these parts. Listen to what Shaz Moore said. The same thing we said last week. The rivalries, you play hard against rival teams. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you see them 2 times a year, as Philip said. But you play them hard every year. If you watch Hard Knocks, what did Jackson Dart? Jackson Dart was like at some place and kids was asking him questions and they asked him what was this what's the team he hates the most, and what did he say? The Philadelphia Eagles. They play teams, they are rivals, they play them hard. I don't know why it's like that, but it's always a hard game. It's not an easy out. So with that, when he made that that comment, I replied, we described it perfectly, which we did. He replies to that saying, this is what coping sounds like, LOL. We weren't coping. I really could care less. But, so, if you're saying that, so I want to ask you, Mr. Chris P., if you're saying that, what are you saying about the Eagles beating the Bills? The Bills is one of the best teams in the league. They got the best quarterback. They got the best running back. And the Eagles still beat them and shut them down to 12 points. So, what is your thoughts on that one? And also, Mr. Underscore Chris P., since you can comment on these sports stuff, why don't you look at our other our news articles and give us comments on that? I want to hear it. Shout out to you and thank you. And if you want us to read your comments on here, check us out on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube and Twitter at pnljudgementals. Instagram is the_judgementals, or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. So, all right, y'all. Thank you.